Peace and love, everybody. Welcome to my show, The Aging Hippies Conspiracy. Now, I thought this show, I'd do things up a little bit differently and read some of the wondrous comments that the last few videos have had. And I've tried to answer as many as I can, but there's just so many, and good and bad, and some are funny. I just thought I'd read them this week and see what you think. It's always been my intention with this channel to make it a cooperative effort. I mean, I don't look at it as my show. It's the hippies show. It's everybody who's a hippie. Young, old, middle-aged, black, white, red. Yes, it's for everybody. This is a channel for everybody. This is a channel to speak your mind, to be yourself, and to get down and boogie. So anyway, hope you'll enjoy this. There's a few good and a few bad, and some in between. Don't forget, if you want to be a part of this, you got to be a part of it. So it's the Iowa caucuses tonight, and it made me thinking of the people that I really have been very bad to in the past, very mean and not loving. And really, just because you support Trump doesn't mean that I don't love you. White snowflakes all falling down into Iowa. But I got a comment from Iowa, and a friend that said that there's this huge meditation community there, and people come from all over the world. It was weird to me, but I said, well, anything positive, and if it makes people happy, then that's what we all need to do. I suppose Hambone had a little laugh at my expense by saying that I wanted everybody to hold hands and sing Kumbaya and we'd save the world. I hate that song. It's the Martin Luther King holiday for you down there. And up here we are celebrating the Beaver Festival, the annual Beaver Festival, where we have beaver races and all kinds of igloo building competitions, and we have a lot to do up here. We're not all that different. We can share love across all borders, because love has no boundaries. Peace knows no boundaries. The only boundaries to love and peace are the ones that you place around yourself. When you decide to be mean, when you decide to be selfish, when you decide to be like so many who are misguided in this world. Well, okay, so let's dip into the old mailbag and see what wonderful things all you people are saying. I'm going to start with one by Catherine Reese. And she says, everything is essentially energy. Thank you for helping to spread the energy of love. And that's one of my favorite comments, because that's exactly what I'm trying to do, is spread some positive energy of love. Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only change form. So if the forces of hatred is a force of energy, then we need to counteract that energy. And I'd say it's an emergency situation, given what's going on all around us. Tennessee Jed, an old friend of mine from down in Tennessee. I wear patchouli beard oil. And then there was a whole thing of people pro and con patchouli. Patchouli has a nice aroma. Yes, I agree, it got a bad rap during the 1960s as that dirty hippie smell. Patchouli incense, love it. Whenever I smell patchouli, it smells like a ghost from my youth. It smells like peace, love, and groovy hippie chicks wearing colorful Indian cotton. It smells like love-ins and sitars, psychedelic light shows, and brightly painted VW buses. Mostly, it just reminds me that I'm more than 50 years out of step with the times. Well, that's just fine by me. Of course, Rendlesham Tales over in San Francisco had a bad reaction to the smell of patchouli. He said, no, not patchouli, most obnoxious scent ever. That's one thing the hippies got wrong. Otherwise, I'm all for a revival en masse and across the planet, bigger and better than ever. Just please, no patchouli stink this time around. Well, I kind of like it. I don't know. So I answered, haha, never heard of anybody hating patchouli that much. Personally, I kind of like it, but it's not a necessity for being a hippie. Perhaps the scent triggers something negative in your subconscious. And of course, Stefan Maximum kind of guy, I guess. I like the smell. I've even bought patchouli hemp soap. So there you go, the great patchouli controversy. Should we use patchouli again this time around, or is there a more up-to-date modern scent that would be more appropriate? So you can weigh in on that if you want. Of course, there's one that I don't know if it got published or not, because I don't take down any comments. Sometimes YouTube takes stuff down for I don't know what reason, but it depends. I guess you can't say anything to offend the almighty algorithm gods, so who knows. He's user YM and a bunch of numbers and letters. Humans are a lost cause, an evolutionary error. I find sanctuary out in the wild, not some goddamn screen. Hang with more than humans. They're real. Yeah, well, humans are real too. So I answered to that. I refuse to believe that all humans are intrinsically evil. Finding sanctuary in nature is vastly superior to staring into a screen. Communing with animals and treating them with kindness is good for your soul. I just think that we can try to make human culture a little more kind and a little more understanding. And he wrote back. I thought he was angry at me or something. He said, totally agree. As a group, humans don't seem willing to save the living world for themselves. When we walked away from the wild, we walked away from ourselves. Most of our hunter-gatherer ancestors sacralized the natural world for a good reason. Modern society is based on self-love, which is an end game, as we can see. So I couldn't agree more with that. I would like to thank the user YM58X6KY2M. That sticks in your head, doesn't it? You should start a channel called Vegematic Deluxe. And Rob Stimson4234 said, I'm glad I discovered this on a Sunday morning. As an aging hippie who is capable of hate but shares your core values, this forum could be instrumental in people connecting, communicating, and reminding each other that love is the only productive response to what we are confronted with. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you, Rob Stimson. I will give that one a heart. Oh, here's a good one. The Baron of Gray Matter. So I imagine the Baron of Gray Matter doesn't like it very much, because he says, if this isn't satire, then it's truly sad and delusional. And I would say what is sad and delusional is thinking that peace, love, and understanding is sad and delusional. If I am being delusional, then it's the best way I can be. Please, let me have my delusions. I worked hard for them. I deserve my delusions. And Acid Cult. Now, with a name like Acid Cult, you'd think he'd probably be pretty cool, but he said, we don't need more liberalism. We need more conservatism, God, and religion. This hippie degenerate behavior is the reason we're all in this spot. Acid Cult. Well, you're in an acid cult. Who are you to talk? I don't know. God and religion and conservatism is what we need. Yeah, because that worked so well over the years. And here's Phil Swift, 791. I'm sorry. The problem I've had with the hippie movement is that this world is a shithole. People want you dead because you're not them. Fighting them with love is not going to work at all. Believe me, I am an aging soldier. I have buried so many of my friends. My body is broken, and I lost everything I hold dear in life. Nothing would make me happier than to stop this cycle. The problem has been your fight has always fallen on people like me. You extended the life of the most evil regimes on this planet, the ones who slaughter their own by 10,000s. So yeah, go ahead, fight with love. Ask Gandhi about how that worked. In the end, his people resorted to violence. In this world, you fight or you cease to exist, or someone else has to fight to protect you so that you can pretend that the blood isn't on your hands. Hippies, I love your intentions. You just don't understand evil doesn't quit because you love it. Well, that was a very thought-provoking and interesting comment. I think you can change. I think people can change. People, even evil people, can change. I have known terribly evil people who have changed, who have become something much better. And Lady Rose says, interesting ideas, but something went wrong with the hippie commune and not everyone would agree with the hippies. Even Bernie Sanders was not doing his fair share of work. Sanders ended up getting his full, so she goes on this thing about Bernie Sanders having 3 houses worth millions, and how does one go from being in a commune and a communist to private property owner and climbing up the capitalist millionaire class? Just asking. Well, I'm not quite sure what you're getting at here, or where you're getting the information, but this isn't a political channel. And yes, I loved Bernie Sanders. I thought that he was coming along at a really good time and that things were going to go in a progressive direction. Instead, you got Donald Trump. See, I can do it, and not, I don't hate anybody. I really don't hate anybody. I can't let my spirit be polluted by hating Mr. Trump. Can't do it. Oh, here's another great one though. The hippie movement is one of the main reasons why the world is so messed up today. And Olympics 2010, Olympics, I like that. Not true, the world was wrecked by murderously greedy, fascist, communist, capitalist system. Yeah, I think you're right there. I think that's part of it. And I just answered right. It has nothing to do with neoliberal economics, warmongers, and governments that are owned by multinational corporations. It's all the damn hippies' fault. Okay, I got it. Sometimes the ones like that, I have a lot of fun. And of course, a lot of people were into this big conspiracy theory thing, where they said that the government was behind, the CIA was behind the hippie movement. And I can't quite figure that out, because if the CIA was busy working for the government who were fighting the war in Vietnam, and the hippie movement was entirely non-violent, no, I can't see it. I can't see it. Yeah, just some people love conspiracy theories. The only conspiracy that I have is I want people to care about each other a lot more, and I want them to be more considerate to each other, and that's what it is, Philosophy of Iron, 9686. Now this is the weird thing. Some of the coolest comments I got, and from the names you would expect them to be cool, and they're really right-wing. And somebody like Philosophy of Iron is a really cool guy. Yeah. The Occupy movement was the second coming of the hippie movement. I thought that originally while it was happening, and later heard elder professors who were part of the original hippie movement say to themselves, in the case of Occupy, though, the powers that be were able to marginalize and squelch it before it had nearly the impact of the original movement. Ain't that the truth? That doesn't mean it wasn't huge and global, in fact, linked to the Arab Spring. I think corporate power was better organized against it than the first time, though. More technologically advanced, more inscrutably distant and global, with deeper pockets, less accountability, and more experience in its methods. The obstacles to any progressive movement getting traction are much tougher in the post-1980s neoliberal disorder than they were previously, even when the movement is widespread and highly energetic. In the grassroots, we saw first with Occupy and then with Bernie Sanders' political proto-movement, political revolution proto-movement, and with the height of Black Lives Matter. Well, it's true, but like pieces of sand beating against a rock, the rock seems unmovable. And then the sand keeps hitting that rock, and the waves keep hitting that rock, and it wears away, and it wears away, and it collapses in on itself. Anyway, that's it for this show. I'll be back with the pretty colors and psychedelic stuff next time. I decided to do this one because my green screen is right next to the furnace, and it's cold as hell. Well, that's a contradiction. It's freezing cold, and the furnace keeps running and running and making noise, and I thought, I want quality. And join us all together in the Cyber Hippie Love Tribe. Join the Cyber Hippie Love Tribe. It's easy to do, and it's not a new idea, but it's a good one. Peace, everybody. And we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. And don't forget to do all the things you're supposed to do to make a sacrifice to the algorithmic God and help the channel grow. Please.